Well, good evening, everyone. 7:30, and it's time for Happily Ever After. So, you guys come on in, and Pastor Karen should be in her seat shortly, I think. And we're going to have a good time tonight. Got a great conversation planned for you guys. Do this for me as you're coming in. Will you just drop your name, check in, give a comment, let us know who's here tonight, who's ready to have some great relationship conversation. I am. I want to thank you guys for connecting with us and hanging out with us on tonight. Do me a favor, invite some friends, invite family and friends, grab the link off of our page and drop it on your page and just um, let folks know what's going on. So, yeah, let's go. Let's go. Let's get ready. Drop your name, check in, give a comment. So give it up for Miss Save Girl Rocks as she joins us on tonight. Pastor K is in the house.
I'm late.
Yes, you're late.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hello. Well, give a girl a break. It's her birthday.
It's her birthday.
It's her birthday.
Go boo boo. Go boo boo. Go boo boo. It's your birthday.
It's your birthday. It's your birthday. Hey.
You're not in the picture good, mommy.
I'm not?
Nope. While our friends are still joining us, y'all see my head. Let's get here. Let's see what we can do. I don't want to mess it up and make it worse.
It's okay. I'm in now. I just can lean closer to you.
Oh, yeah, well, if you get too close. What if we do this just a little bit? No, not that. Big hand.
That was better. That's better.
That's better?
That's better.
Okay. All right. Hey, Fatima. She said, turn it up birthday style. Hey, guys, y'all come on now. Let's go. Because Pastor K said we can only be on for our time. And then she wants to enjoy the rest of her birthday, y'all. And we can't be mad at her. So, hush. Why I got the hush? I ain't even did nothing. I ate all my shrimp, though.
And he didn't share.
Like you was going to eat any. You don't even eat shrimp.
I wasn't. Did you offer the kids any?
It ain't their birthday. It was my birthday. Hey, Anika. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, yeah, Pastor K and I have this unique
very.
situation that
May and June is like Christmas for us.
Yeah, so my birthday is it's Mother's Day.
Mm-hmm.
And then after Mother's Day is my birthday. Then right after my birthday, 2 days later is her birthday. Then we go into Father's Day. And our wedding anniversary bumps right up to Father's Day. So it's the same weekend, isn't it? Yeah. So, and Janae's birthday is in there also. And she's always trying to rob and steal my thunder for my birthday weekend, for Father's Day weekend with her birthday. So, so look, before we get started, because we're going to go ahead, I'm hoping that more of our partners and more of our friends will. You okay?
Yeah, I just wanted to switch up.
Mm-hmm. Will come on in and join us tonight. But, by way of announcement, so Pastor Joe don't get us, we want to invite you guys to come out and hang out with us this Sunday at 10:30 on campus. We're going to be celebrating Pentecost, man.
Pentecost.
And we're going to go in. We're going to have us some good worship, some some energy, some fun, giving God some crazy praise. It's the white out, so we're
White out.
wearing all white.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
rock your favorite white jeans, your white whatevers, and,
Mm-hmm.
your favorite white tennis shoes or whatever it is. Come on in, man. And Unity is going to put down some great music.
Yeah.
Um,
We're still in Women's Month though, even though it's Pentecost. Pentecost.
Pentecost is not a part of Women's Month, okay? Pentecost is its own thing.
It's his own thing, but it's been bananas this month, y'all.
We are not talking about Women's Month. We're talking about Pentecost.
Okay, Pentecost. Let me get okay.
Jesus,
Okay.
man, some people.
Hey, look at the shirt. Say girls rock.
And, this is y'all's pastor, so what was I saying? Pentecost. Thank you. This Sunday, 10:30. Doors open at 10:15. And we just gonna have a good time, y'all. We're gonna have a good time. And I was saying unity, and then I was just talking about, it's the white out, so we're gonna wear all white.
All
but
white.
You guys come on out and let's have a good time. Let's have a good time. So, is that it, Joe? Pentecost, and then the following Sunday we're right back into Save Girls Rock, and Pastor First Lady
More.
Shanice Moore will be with us, and
we'll be ending.
And then Talk to Me Tuesday. You have one more session of Talk to Me Tuesday.
It's this coming Tuesday,
and that's this coming Tuesday. So,
yeah.
And then don't move because Men's Month is coming. And the theme is Men for the Brothers, that we are warriors. I am a warrior, man. And we're going to ignite that warrior spirit in you. And we're going to encourage you and push you to go home and start some trouble, some good trouble. John Lewis say start some good trouble. So we're going to encourage you to start some good trouble, man, and let the devil know, not today, Satan, and we're going to throw the first punch. So, too long we've been catching in this thing, and the devil thinks he could just run roughshod and treat us any kind of way. We about to throw the first punch. We about to start this with that warrior spirit. So Men's Month is going to be great. Father's Day, we got some great guests coming in. Pastor Michael Jackson. I'm waiting for the final answer, but I believe he'll be with us. Pastor Algernon Wills will be with us. Tuesday, Men's Talk at the Round Table. Pastor Joe. Some of the brothers from 3C. It's going to be a great month. Hey, yeah, tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock, Joe? Yeah, 10 o'clock. Art Financial. Pastor Joe's got some more wonderful financial strategies for us to live life to the full, to the overflow. Hey, this stuff works, man.
Yes.
I have saved more money than I ever thought I could. And now I'm excited about saving money, so watch out. But it's just some simple strategies that he shared, man, that if you apply them, you could actually take control in a lot of areas in your life, that financial area, where you don't have to be a slave to debt.
Amen.
So again, we want to invite you guys to get connected. If this is your first time hanging out with us, we want to invite you to connect with us, and strolling at the bottom of your screen, you'll see an easy way to connect to Happily Ever After. And what we're asking you to do is simply text the word happy to 804-925-1466. When you do, you're going to get a connect card that's going to ask you for 3 simple pieces of information, but they're relevant to us being able to connect. And it's going to ask for your name, your phone number, your cell phone number, and your email address. So real simple, real easy to do. So let's get connected, and let's do life better together. So I think that's all. Man, I don't want to hold our time, but I really want to give a few more minutes for a few more people to join us. Because I think the night is going to be fun. And tonight, the birthday girl has no idea what I'm going to pop up on her.
I don't, and I've been waiting because he normally like give me something to study, and he hasn't given me anything. So
So,
he's got me, he hasn't given me anything. I looked on my phone. That's what I was waiting on. I haven't received anything.
so
Because we didn't supposed to have it.
she keep.
It wasn't. He was giving us the month off. I'm acting like the kids.
Gentlemen, learn this power right
In our
here.
meeting, they said, "Okay, are we doing it?" He said, "No, it's her birthday. We're not going to do it."
See this? Learn this power right here.
Okay, but I'm having a party. Hey, 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 hey. I can't dance. I have no rhythm. I wish I could sing. I wish I could dance. I can't do any of those things.
It's your birthday, so
I'm just passing time because he said he wanted to wait for a few people to get on.
I don't like the camera. I really don't. I just don't want to mess it up and make it worse. That's a little bit better. Because you can't see your head was like halfway off. Okay, so not to belabor the hour anymore. Let's get into this. So here's what I want to talk to you about.
If I don't say nothing, please don't blame me.
This is easy. It's easy.
That's what he
So
always say.
it's let's talk about 10 traits, 10 points, 10 habits that happen in an unhappy marriage. Because we're always talking about how to make your marriage happy. Well, one way to enrich your marriage and increase the happiness, the peace, and the prosperity of your marriage is to identify those things that plague your marriage. And sometimes we just don't want to deal with it because we don't like negative stuff, and that's not a cure. Uh, it's just an excuse, and that's not what we're going to do. We're going to be brave enough to address some things that um, may not be the most pleasant, but need to be identified, earmarked, and then strategize how to kind of get past those things for the betterment of the relationship. So it's not complex at all. It's real simple things, probably some things that you've already identified, but maybe never dealt with. And tonight, hopefully, we can encourage one another to deal with these 10 things. So, are you guys ready?
Are you ready?
So, all right, let's go. Where do we need to be? I think I need to be right here. Yeah. So we're talking about 10 habits that you kind of need to break or identify again of an unhealthy marriage. So number one says this. Number one says unhealthy marriage, habits of unhealthy marriages, you become stagnated. You become stagnated. So number one is stagnation. So what do you think?
Okay.
No, seriously. Stagnation could be in a lot of different areas, but one thing, with all things, whenever it stops growing, it dies. And I think even in our marriage, when the marriage stops evolving, when it stops growing, when we stop recognizing that the person I married 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, in our case, 30 years ago, is not the same person that I'm married to today. And when I don't make those adjustments, when I don't grow, When I allow myself to stagnate, sooner or later that stagnation flows on into our marriage, and you do what people are always talking about. We grow apart, or we find ourselves going in different directions. One person is interested in different things and then venturing out. The other person doesn't want to do anything. And, where you used to do everything together, now you find that you don't do anything together. And your marriage becomes stagnant. Nobody's really enjoying it. There's not a lot of energy in your marriage. There's not a lot of goals that you're working towards together in your marriage. And, go ahead.
one of them has a lot of goals that they're working towards, and then the other one is, like you said, is stagnating, not doing anything. So,
So, how do you overcome that? And I think some of the overcoming, we'll see it as we deal with some of the other ones. But one of the easy fixes is this is conversations.
Yeah. Yeah. I was going to say communication.
It's communications.
Mm-hmm.
And we talk about that all the time whenever we're dealing with these things, whenever we're doing this. We always talk about the power of effective communication. In one of the series, we went in and we defined what effective communication looked like, felt like, what happens when there is effective communication, that yes, there is something shared, but there is something received, and then there's something that's done. And that's the mark, that's the identifier of effective communication. So I think that's the big cure for stagnation is effective communication. So anything else?
Yeah. I mean, I just think that, sometimes we just take, man, and we say it often, that we just take
For granted.
we take it for granted
Yeah.
that when it comes to communication, that and we don't take enough time to communicate, in our day-to-day life, that we just don't take enough time to just stop um, and give each other that time.
Why do you think that is, Boo?
Because sometimes, we think that, okay, everything is okay. And I think that sometimes that we forget that. And I don't think that it's sometimes where it's selfish, or it's, it's okay. Or we take it for granted that, they're okay. That it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
And, they are right. They right there, they're going to be, I can get back to them. So we take each other for granted.
Right.
And I don't think it's like done intentionally, but it is what it is.
It may not be done intentionally, but it's done on purpose. Yeah.
So
that's good.
And I just think that that's just, what happens, that we just do it. We're like, okay, yeah,
Okay, so number one unhealthy habit for your relationship was stagnation. So number two, unhealthy marriage habit number two is to be in love with your phone or the TV. To be in love with your phone or the TV. Wow.
Yeah.
So this is another big one, because when we start talking about effective communications, the question then is, what are the things that block us from having effective communication? And it's wonderful as technology is, as your phones and all you can do with TV now, how you can stream and whatever. It's crazy that when these things really, when they're used properly, can draw us together. It's amazing how
it can draw us apart.
How much, they separate us. And I watch other people. We'll be in the same space, not talking, and I'll look over at you and you're doing this, and I look at myself and I'm doing this. And
I looked at that was where we were out. We were at a function together. Me, you, and Nicole.
Yeah, we were at the premiere that Shazier put on.
Mm-hmm. And I seen where they took a picture of you and I, and both of us wasn't even like paying attention. We was on our phones, and they took a picture of us. But yeah, I mean, I get it. Like you and I do it a lot, that we're in the same room, but We're definitely not connected at times because we're on our.
And
on
it's
our
the crazy
phones.
thing is we're in the same room, or people will do that and say that we spent time together. No, you didn't spend any time together. You just occupied the
Yeah.
same space.
And then even you and I, we'll get in. I mean, I can't say that we argue, but we'll get in a conversation. Be like, what? I won't. What? You was on your phone. You on the phone more than me. No, you're on the phone more than me. No, you are. No, you are.
She's actually on the phone more than me.
Well, we're not going to do that in front of y'all today, because
You are, baby. Okay.
we're not getting ready to do that.
Yeah,
We're not getting ready to do that.
She is.
The same way he said that, I'm gonna go. Because the same, he been married just as long as I have.
Well, we'll move on, but guys, just real simple tip is just be cognitive of how much time you're spending on your phone, how much time you're spending with the television, and then when you do make the decision that you're spending time together, then make the decision that you know to put away the devices that could really rob you of
Yeah.
the joys and the pleasures of the
And then
time.
some of those subliminal messages mean something. I don't care how much we say that they don't. They do. They do.
What?
Like,
Yeah.
won't you just on your phone? What that mean? Oh, nothing. Oh, yes, it do. If it didn't, I wouldn't have said it. And we'll say those like it didn't mean nothing, but it do. Because if it didn't mean nothing, we wouldn't have said it. So we'll say those things, but we'll say stuff like that, and we really know it do mean something. But so
Okay.
take note of that.
Take note of that, guys. But for real though, just respect and honor the time that you set aside to share with one another and put the devices away. However much time it is, agree upon the time so there is no argument because I know devices have become habitual now, so agree upon the time that you're going to, set the devices aside and spend that time with one another to avoid, that, but also the stagnation.
And then you all, how do y'all feel about it? Like, hey, give us some
Yeah,
feedback.
feel free to chime in.
Chime in. How do you all feel about it? Is it? I mean, do y'all feel that it's a problem? I mean, like for me, I don't like texting. I think texting, um, like I like texting, like us, like love stuff, like little stuff like that. But him and I texting each other with our communication all the time with each other. Now I don't like that, but little cute stuff, yeah. But if that's our main source of communicating, I don't like that.
Well,
I
no,
don't like that.
that is that's just too much effort for me. So no, I'm going to say what I gotta say. I'm a much better orator than a literary writer. So I'd rather us just sit down and have this conversation about it than to try to express ourselves through emojis.
And I definitely don't do the gun. Know how to do an emoji, and I definitely don't know how to abbreviate what ADK and all this. I don't know how to do all that.
So number one was, to avoid stagnation. Number two, we talked about not falling in love with your devices. Number three says this: become boring. Ooh.
Mm.
Mm. That now this is really a good one. It's because you think about when you're dating how much energy you had, and I know life happens and everything, and we age and we get older, and there is more on our plate. There's children, grandchildren, jobs, careers, whatever it may be, but you were so adventurous, not you particularly, but I'm just saying, and you were so adventurous. You wanted to discover the world together. You wanted to go conquer the world together, and now you gotten married, and now it's just this boring thing. You don't want to do anything. You don't want to go anywhere. You don't want to be involved in anything. You don't want to do anything new. you've become so comfortable in
Mhm.
the existence of what
Mhm.
your world is, and you pretty much mandate that on your partner. So if your partner is not that person, you're pretty much trying to mandate that. Or, and now again, you got this thing that's causing division simply because you want to stop living or you want to stagnate and your partner is not feeling that way.
Yeah.
And this could become a huge issue with simply becoming boring to the point where who wants to be around you,
Yeah. And then the number one thing, and then that boring thing can kind of cause the issue, because if you're not communicating,
Right.
and then you're boring,
Yeah.
so then you probably won't communicate that you're bored. So you're already in a place where you're not communicating, or if where you can't communicate that, or if you're, I ain't gonna say scared to communicate
But
that you are, but if you are hesitant,
that's a good point,
yeah,
because some you've not created I guess
an
an
environment,
environment where free conversation is
yeah,
invited or welcome. So
yeah,
you are
yeah,
scared to communicate. You are
that you're
scared to
bored.
express
What you
yourself.
mean?
Yeah,
You know,
and to
yeah.
say that I'm bored,
What you mean? I mean, yeah.
immediately is going to be taken in
Yeah,
offense.
an offense.
To
Yeah.
say that I'm bored, but to be bored and not express that you're bored will leave you, searching for adventures on your own, or finally searching for somebody
and that can cause something totally different.
Because you start to connect with that person's in their energies,
Yeah.
and
yeah,
in their environment, or in an environment that you both enjoy, and you may have gone into this not looking for any intimacy or romance, but you find intimacy in the fact that this person is giving me energy, they're giving me attention and time.
Yep.
And at home, I don't feel like it, I don't want to.
And then you start talking, then you start communicating with someone else on the outside where you couldn't communicate at home, but that's how the enemy comes in and trick you.
It is. It's a gateway or an avenue for the enemy to come in, but that's still on us. To be wise enough to understand that. Listen, we don't like the same type of shows, TV shows, but I will watch them with her because she's my wife. She watched Life. What is it? Lifetime.
No, I don't watch Lifetime as much. I watch ION. I think it's ION.
Whatever.
It's ION now. And I watch like old shows like westerns and stuff like that. But he sits there and laugh at it. So, but I don't care anymore. It don't bother me that he laugh at him. Like, you really sit here and watch that?
Yeah, like Little House on the Prairie. Really? And the Waltons, come on, man. But or then she goes to the totally opposite extreme, and we got to watch the first 48 for like 10 hours of death, murder, kill, death, murder, kill, death, murder, kill, death, murder, kill. And I'm like, look, what happened to the Waltons? How you go from the Waltons to the first 48? What kind of mess is this? And I don't know if she's studying, trying to figure out how to knock me off or what, man. No.
But now he talked about me, but then he would sit and watch ESPN that would show you and everybody know I love sports. But I'm not going to sit up and watch ESPN the same thing over and over and over and over. Like, it's the same thing, bro. Come on.
Mind your manners.
And then you sit and watch the whole NFL draft from Thursday to Sunday. Dude, bro, you don't know everybody that's getting drafted.
You know what? I don't know. You got some issues. You talking about the draft now.
Then act like you gonna fry fish and chicken and bacon or whatever.
Where are we at? Which one are we on? 1, 2, 3. Number 4.
You're gonna have company.
We're on number 4.
It ain't nobody coming over here.
Number 4 says, "Oh, this is a good one." Unhappy marriage habit number 4 is put others before your spouse. Put others before your spouse. Now this is a good conversation right here.
Yeah.
And this plays out like multiple ways. So,
Yeah.
okay, you go first.
Yeah, and others, can go a whole lot of ways. It can go from children to family. Um, it, yeah, I can attest to that. I thank God for um, a spouse that constantly says that he knows that knows who he is in our relationship, because um, I probably I probably test that probably in him more than anything because of my relationship with my brother. Um, I probably, and it's probably not good, and this is probably the first time that I probably have openly probably said it, but I probably talk to my brother probably more than him. Um, because my I feel, because my husband is the only one that like works in the house, so um so I like tend not to like try to bother him when he worked. So it's like if I want to bother somebody, I'll bother my brother. I'll bother him.
Like he don't work.
And the thing is, he do work, but
Junior, you a bum. Get a job.
but he'll answer the phone like for me, like. But when I like try to bother him, like I'll get this look from him, like, huh, what? So I'll back away or whatever. Junior will say like, "I'll call you back," or whatever. And then if I talk to Julius, like Julius a walk as I'm talking to him, and even though I know that's what he do, like for me that bothers me. That does something to me. So I just don't try to bother him until he can sit down, until he can sit still. So that yeah.
But I don't think that's it. I think putting others before your spouse could be, if that's intentional purpose. I think you have to be careful of that when you're in a blended family, and you've come from the position of taking care of your children and your children being the primary in your life, and then trying to figure out how to balance that. So your children now are not an obstacle to the relationship that you're forging with your husband or your wife, or simply your spouse. And I think it's being cognizant. What you just said makes me know that you're cognitive of the situations and how they unfold, and just that says that that keeps me in check, where I'm ensuring that it doesn't become abusive, or it doesn't make my spouse or my significant other feel like they're not important or as important. I think when you purposely do it, that's how it can be deemed by the other person as everything and everybody is more important in your life than me. And I think that's the attitude and approach that you got to be careful that you don't you don't do anything that brings that into your house, because that could really create problems. And again, it could drive the person to look for their support, their affirmation in someone else, simply because you don't make them feel like they're the most important thing. I've
Yeah.
talked to a number of wives, especially when there are, again, children involved from another relationship, a previous relationship, and their thing is, my husband doesn't protect me. He doesn't make me feel like I am as important as either the children are or this other person is, and their interactions. I don't feel involved. I don't feel a part of it. I don't feel necessary. And again, all of those things are pretty much addressed with effective communications. That together you come up with how you're going to move, and how you discuss and handle those things, those circumstances and situations. So I think you have to be careful, especially moms that's been single moms and that had to stand on their own, and or single fathers that's had to stand, and now you come into a union. You have to do that extra work to ensure that you're including your significant other. You got to keep that in the forefront of your mind, because you can get lost in your own world, and if your significant other is not confident or doesn't have that assurance of, they can find themselves competing with that other person for your attention, and then when they don't get it, feeling like you've chosen that other person over them, and
And then putting that person in the middle, where I'm always going to be mama, or
yeah, and
I,
it's a lot.
mhm.
We ran into that, as my mom and relationship, and how close I was to my mom, and then getting married, and my mom feeling that Mother's Day belonged to her, and my wife wanted to do certain things on Mother's Day, and now I had a conflict. What do you do? Easy. You have effective communication, and simply what I did. In the beginning, did my mom push back? Yeah, but then we just talked. Hey, mom, remember you raised me this way. These are the things that you taught me that a husband should bring into his marriage. So again, effective communication is a key or a cure to a lot of ailments in your marriage. If you take the time to create again an environment where that free conversation is welcome, appreciated, and allowed. So your spouse doesn't feel like, I hate, when you used to say, I don't feel like I could talk to you. That's the worst. And because to me that automatically says then that means there's another ear that you find more solace or more confident or comforting in than mine's, and to me that's out of order. It shouldn't be. She mentioned her brother. I mean, I've been around in family for almost 40 years, so to me he's just as much my brother as he is hers, so I'm not envious of that, and it's always been, since I've been in this. You and Junior were just that tight knit. I'm close to my sisters, but our stuff won't like y'all. Y'all send each other birthday cards, and her mama still send you a birthday card. Thanks for my card, mama. So but I recognized that early on, and I appreciate it. So I laugh. We just got some rules. If you're gonna talk to your brother all night long, well, there's some husband rules that's got to be taken care of. So however it works in your house. Where we at, baby? Number 4 or 5? Number five, unhappy marriage habit. Number 5 is to ignore your problems. Ignore your problems. Hey, just because you don't identify it, don't mean that it's going away. You can put a handkerchief on it, you can make it look like furniture, but it's still there, and you got to address it. You got to address it. I think we do a whole lot better at addressing things, even uncomfortable things, than we used to. My yeah, that probably was a strategy early on. If I don't talk about it, then it don't exist. Well, that's not really the truth now, is it? Because it's still there. It's still there. And again, it comes right back to cultivating an environment that allows you to share and share freely. And we're not, listen, don't look at us like we think we got this thing all mapped out and we get A's every time. No, that's not our truth.
Right.
Our truth is that we understand the pathway, and we're trying to master that pathway and create, on purpose with intention, good healthy habits that allows our relationship to prosper. But you can't ignore problems, man. Right. They don't go away. Really, it's just like stuff that's happening in your body. When you don't address it, it tends to get worse. Mm-hmm. Well, problems in your marriage, in your money, in other areas, when you don't address it, it tends to get worse. It tends to bleed over into other areas. And again, it tends to play with the emotions of one spouse more than the other. And that person, again, is easily manipulating and find themselves in the wrong place at the wrong time, looking for something that their spouse should be providing for them. So
Mhm.
that doesn't work, guys. You can't ignore your problems. So you got to address that stuff. You got to be courageous.
Yeah,
Joshua 1:9, 1:9. Be very strong, be very courageous. 1:8, 1:9, somewhere right up and around there.
yeah. I mean, even if you know that something that you have to address might offend or might hurt, you still need to address it. Doesn't mean you don't love, doesn't mean, you want to leave, or whatever. You still have to address, just because you are married, in a relationship, it doesn't mean that you're not going to offend. We have to remember what our vows say, and those that are in a relationship that are getting ready to get married, because this is what this is, happily ever after. Those that are preparing to get married as well, that when you get ready to take those vows, or those that are already married and in this, it says, um, for better or for worse. And then in those vows, it talks about the good, the bad, and all of that. So those things are going to come up, so
Yeah,
we have to be able to deal with
yeah.
issues and things are going to come up. Like he said, we've been in this thing for 30 plus years. So come on, 30 plus years and you don't go through something.
You're
And if
going to go through
somebody tell you
some.
that you're not going to go through something, they're lying to you. They're lying. So, you're going to have to be able to learn how to deal with it
Yeah.
and get over it.
And trying to ignore it is not dealing with it. You got to
No,
address it.
gotta
You got
address
to,
it.
yeah.
Gotta address it. And sometimes you can't. Sometimes you can't always get over it by yourself. So you have to find accountability partners,
partners. That's a good point.
and find someone that you can go to.
Yeah. And if it's no one that, you guys agree, go get professional counseling.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be afraid to work hard for improvements in your marriage.
Yeah.
You should never invest more in your wedding than you're willing to invest in your marriage.
Yeah.
So if you spent thousands of dollars on your wedding, then you should be willing to spend thousands of dollars, the same, energy, man hours on, improving and the betterment of your marriage.
Yeah.
It, like divorce, when it happens or if it ever happens, should absolutely be the last. Yeah, you should be able to look God in the face and say, we exhausted every opportunity to save this marriage, before we made this decision.
Yeah. And then, to the point where if I'm going to get a divorce, even unless it was an abusive situation, but if I get a divorce, and we have exhausted all avenues where we can, but I can still walk away. And if I see him or her out in the street, I can still, how you doing? I don't have to be his or her enemy. Because we got a divorce.
Yeah.
We know that we worked everything out when we just knew that we just couldn't do it.
Right.
I think that so many times people do it and they become, like that, and I don't think that it has to be that way. It doesn't have to be that way.
Okay, so that was number 5. Number 6. Number 6 says, what we have. Unhealthy marriage habit number 6. Give your spouse the silent treatment. Give your spouse the silent treatment. What do you think, Pastor K?
Mm-hmm.
See, don't she just... I hate that. I hate that. I don't like it. I'm not gonna walk around my house all day and like I ain't talking to you, and then you go 3. Yeah, we did that stuff when we was young, man. Now I'm too old, and I forget halfway during the I'm mad process of what I'm mad about. So man, that's a waste of time. It's a waste of energy. There are better ways of resolving your problems. And at the end of the day, you've not come up with any resolutions because you're not talking. I'm not talking to you. That's probably part of the problem of why we having the issue that we're having is because we don't talk.
Man, we
So
so stubborn. You be like, what? Don't send it to me. It ain't like we ain't gonna talk. We're gonna say something smart out of our mouth. So he's stubborn and I'm
I'm
stubborn.
stubborn, but I'm not smart talking. I do not talk smart,
You
baby.
will. Mm, am I?
Not really, not to me.
I
I
mean,
mean, it's more stubborn or just,
like, whatever.
well, no. Man, for real, I think at this point in the game, a lot of it's changed just based on the number of years that are invested and the energy that it takes to stay in a negative place. Guys, you got to get that. It takes a lot of energy to stay in a negative place. It really does. You got to keep remembering. You got to keep it to the forefront of your mind. You got to stay angry about it. Then you got to do all the angry behaviors that come with being angry behind. Man, that's
And
way
then
too much.
being angry, then you can't get no loving. You be angry. Who want angry booty? You like angry booty?
Girl, we are on TV. I'm telling y'all, see, it's her birthday and she is
You like angry
showing up.
booty?
We're not talking about that. Where are we at?
I know people say they like makeup booty, but that you don't. It ain't angry booty.
Okay. Number 7. And y'all be thinking it's me. I'm glad this is being recorded for the annals of time. It's her.
But I've never had angry booty.
Number 7, unhealthy marriage habit number 7. Stop having sex. Angry or unangry, you just stop having sex. And I don't know why this happens. I really don't. You heard about people saying that we're too busy, we're too tired. Again, to me, it means something totally different when we start talking about the sexual interactions, what it means to a man versus what it means to a female, and it means something totally different. If you
Yeah,
start talking to
I'm learning
men,
that.
that you'll find a lot of men, that's their affirmation, that's their intimacy takes place during sexual intercourse. The feeling of us being one, a team in the same place. It's a big risk. It's a big share. It's evidence of being loved. Is the sharing or the intimacy, the sexual relations. So to stop that, and then to stop it all of a sudden, and then no conversations on why we're stopping, but all of a sudden it becomes personal. It becomes, like, am I offensive? What have I done? And now you run into all these things in your mind about yourself when it may not have anything to do with you, but something that's going on with your spouse, and your spouse again has not communicated, or your spouse is in another place in life, and they're feeling one way about sexual relations, you're feeling another, and again, your spouse doesn't approach you and have the conversation. They just start withholding, not understanding the emotional trauma that is causing, because now, and even women, when we get you get older, your body started to change, and now all of a sudden, if your husband just all of a sudden starts to withhold the intimacy or the sexual relations, now it's got you looking at yourself. Am I still beautiful? Is it my body? Is it this? Is it that? Is it the other? When again, effective communication, eliminates a lot of that, but staying sexual really eliminates, that conversation,
Mm-hmm.
or understanding why we're not having sex. We've had some bouts and there was some health issues going on, that we had to talk about. And guys, if that's it and you're not understanding, do yourself a solid, do your wife a solid, go to the doctor appointments with her. And then you want to try to have to get the information secondhand. You can ask the doctors all your questions so you come home with understanding about why we're not having sex, or why it may hurt, or what's going on with my body, and I don't feel sexually active at this time. And then My spin on it is be creative. You were creative before you got married. You touched each other. You did, and
Yep.
now that your bed is undefiled, you want to lose all your creativity towards your mate, and because you're in a place, you forget your mate's not in that place with you, and totally, that's totally unfair to your mate to forget that because this is happening in your body, it's not happening in there. Because this is happening in your mental, it's not happening in theirs. And while you may feel this way about sexual relations, they may feel totally different and totally the opposite. And they may still be very excited about your touch, your kiss. So, there are creative opportunities, and we're not going to try to run you off a list. Now, if you need some help, you can call me privately and we can go into some more detail about this. But let's be honest, there are some creative opportunities that unfold instead of let's stop having sex because of I'm feeling certain ways or
Yeah.
whatever. And then if there is no health issue, then the question is, why are we not having sex?
Right. Right.
For me to go in and have counseling sessions with young couples and they tell you, yeah, we haven't slept together in months. I'm like, man, what the world? So,
And knowing that it's no
health issues, right?
So yeah.
And again, like we said, I know men and women identify with sex differently, but know your partner, and it should have been a part of the conversation that took place before you even got married, with sexual desires and what it meant to the relationship or that individual in the relationships, because so you could be equally yoked. You okay?
Mm-hmm. Gotta get some drink.
See, that's she over there talking all that stuff, and then Okay, guys. So let's move on. We got a few minutes left here, and we are at number 8. So we got to hurry up. Unhappy marriage habit number 8 says, spend more money than what you have. Spend more money than what you have. Hey guys, Pastor Joe can help you with this one, because the first thing he would tell you to do is to create a budget. Stop trying to ball and be big baller, shot caller when you're not. Master your measure. And I wish I'd have learned that at a younger age, is to master your measure. Wherever you are financially, in your relationship at this particular time, one, understand that it's not the be all end all. It's the beginning. The Bible says, don't despise your humble beginnings, but learn how to master that measure. Learn how to live on a budget where you are. Learn how to live with a plan where you are. A budget is not a bad word. It's just a plan. And learn how to live with a plan. You can still do the enjoyable things that you want to do if you plan them in, if you make provisions for them. But it makes no sense to go get vehicles that you can't afford, trying to impress people that you really don't like, to get homes that you can't afford, and then your house rich but finances poor. You can't go anywhere, you can't do anything, and you begin to despise the house that was supposed to bring you so much joy. Um, in one of his art lessons, Pastor Joe told us that money is a defense. It's a defense. It's a problem solver. The Bible says that money answers all things. So that we know that it's important. But here's the real important piece of this, is learning how to handle your money. And a lot of us don't. We make poor financial decisions based on our emotions. I work 2 weeks, I owe myself this. No, you work 2 weeks. What you owe yourself is to live on that budget that you created. to keep you out of debt. And and he'll do a lot better job than I will, explaining good debt and bad debt, and credit versus debt. But the Bible says that we should be prosperous. Well, if you research that word prosperity all the way out, the word shalom is one of the roots, peace. The word shalom meaning peace. And prosperity from the peace perspective is being able to control your circumstances and your situations. Where when something arises, it does not cause you to stress or create anxiety. You still maintain your peace because you've planned for it. I would encourage all of you guys to connect with Pastor Joel, man. Pastor Joel, if you will, drop some information. He does the ARC Financial, but he's also a financial planner. He's a manager with New York Life. I said it right. Most of the time, I have him working for MetLife, but he works for New York Life. And if not him, then one of his team members could come out, sit down with you, and help you get on a financial plan, a roadmap to success, man. Because if you don't learn how to control the money you're making now, it will not matter how much money you make. You'll always be in a deficit of spending more than you make. Discipline, 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 and discipline starts with a plan. So if you don't want to call it a budget, call it a financial plan. But if it leads you to the place of prosperity or living in prosperity where you control your circumstances and situation, and I'm telling you, you got more money than you think you have. The money is just out of control. The Bible says this. It says, where there is no vision, people cast off restraint. In other words, where there's no plan, where there is no laws, where you've not put in a control, then the law is lawlessness, and it even works that way in your money. And you'll always be, that person wondering, why I don't have enough money, what's happening with my money, where did my money go? You know, I don't know. I think things started to change when I started hating being in that situation and not understanding how did I just get paid, but I don't have a dime. I was happy on Friday, but broke on Monday. I got some issues. So you guys, get a plan. Don't try to live above your plan, but master the measures that are in your plans. And I promise you, you can still have a good life. You can still live a prosperous life, a peaceful life. You're not stressing, looking at somebody else's stuff. Man, the stuff can be such a manipulator, and I don't want to get off on a tangent, but get a plan that allows you guys, your marriage, your home, not to fall into that pitfall of spending more than you make or spending more than you have. Okay, so that was number what? That was number. Was that number 8? Yeah. So number 9 says this: unhealthy marriage habit number 9: threaten divorce. Threaten divorce. Um, Man, that's crazy. Um, because you hear that happen so many times with, I'll just leave you, and you keep saying it over and over and over again. We make that threat one to another about divorce. For us, we went just the opposite. We took divorce off the table in the beginning of our marriage. That look, we ain't telling that ain't nothing tragic gonna happen, or there won't be any struggles or disappointments or mistakes or bad decisions. But if there's any way possible, we want to keep divorce off the table. There is no need to threaten your mate constantly or consistently with the thought of divorce when you have no real desire to be divorced. Again, you create negative energy in your house. You create a situation that's got to be dealt with, or a problem on top of a problem, with that idle threat. And then what happens when the person just gets fed up with you throwing that in their face? And, and they respond and serve you with the divorce papers. So it, I hope it's not what any of us, desire in our relationship. You know, take that energy, and just pour it into positives to overcome the problems and and the situations in your marriage to find solutions. Cool. Anything you want to add?
Nope.
So our last one on tonight, guys. Number 10 says this. Number 10, unhappy marriage habits. Number 10, keep secrets. Keep secrets. Oh.
You keep tapping it.
Keep secrets. Okay. Um, that, okay. Oh, here we go. And we're back. What do you think, Pastor K?
Like King say.
What you guys think, man? Y'all give us something on this one. Keep secrets.
Yes.
Is it a positive? Would you say you should keep secrets? Do you see it as a detriment to the foundation of your relationship? Is there a certain time
I'm
you
kidding.
should keep secrets? I've heard people say, "Man, I'm taking this one to the grave." You know. Here's my honest truth. I think the problem or the reasons that we keep secrets is because we've not created an atmosphere that allows us to share and to share the things again that you said that could cause or be taken in offense. And I think because of those things, we end up keeping secrets out of fear, apprehension, that if I tell her this, oh, that's it. That's a deal breaker. It's over. And, I'm just going to eat this one and I'm going to take it to the grave with me. So I what's this? Must keep lines of communication open. Sister Goldie says sometimes, but no, you got to be honest. And I think some people look at this and I believe the intention of God is that we should have been in a place where we could share anything with each other, but based on previous experiences and whatnot, I really don't think that's where we live at. That our house has that much glass that we can just reveal the any and everything and walk away unscathed. Pastor Joe says we also need to set boundaries. It's the boundaries that create. We also need to set the boundaries. It's the boundaries that create the fear. Yeah. So, I don't know. And again, we never sit up here and act like we know everything. Do I have some moments that I'm not very proud of that I would just rather take to the tune? I think we all do. Um, I think at this point that I am pretty much comfortable with sharing with my wife, then there is not a lot of need for secrecy for me. One, I don't do much nothing that I think I got to keep a secret from her about. Um, yeah, you looking up there.
I mean, I don't do nothing. I don't go nowhere. I can't go nowhere. Somebody got to take me where I go. Send somebody with me.
But I think this is one of those to thy own selves be true, to thy own marriage, to thy own relationships be true. I do believe where you can be honest, you should be honest. Hopefully, we're not still doing things that we got to keep secret about, because that's the problem. It's not the fact that I got a secret to keep. It's the fact that I've created or I've indulged in something that I now have to keep secret.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably what you need to answer and
Yeah.
resolve within yourself is, why do I keep creating, you know, these events that I then in turn have to try to keep secret from my wife or my husband or my significant other. um you know that becomes the issue. That becomes the question mark, is why do I keep doing this that again forges me to now have to result in another secret, another hidden thing. So I get it that if especially if your relationship is not healthy, that you may feel it's best that I just hold this at this particular time, that this is not a good time to share. um Again, to thy own self be true. But my real focus would be on, you know why do we keep creating these events? Why do I keep making this decision, going these places, being involving myself in things that I now create another secret from my spouse? Sister Goldie shared, she said, some things require better timing before telling. Amen. Amen. Joe said that it's just because I didn't tell her doesn't make it a secret. I'm not hiding it. It's just not important enough to share now. And
Gotta
a lot of
slow down.
people would look at that and say that's a matter of opinion, or that could be a fancy way of saying I'm keeping a secret. I'm not questioning anybody's statement of resolve. I think you know your spouse, you know your relationship, you know where you are in the relationship, you know both of yours temperaments, and um, how we can respond. If you're in a place where your relationship is developing and growing, do you want to throw a hiccup in it?
Yeah.
It's precarious. I don't think it's a one ounce to fit all. If let me ask you guys this: if I don't share, am I lying? Is that a
Or
lie?
a cover up,
You
or
know, yeah. So,
and
uh,
then like I get a lot, like, do you, like, Pastor K, do you believe in men and women, like, getaways? Like, I have my girl trips and boy trips, like men trips. Like,
mm,
do you think those are necessary? Like, do you agree with them? Because those foster um, these type of things, like you can't tell, or stuff like that.
y- you know, honestly, those are a matter of maturity. And again, you got to know yourself. If you're not in a healthy place in your relationship, and you think that if I go this place and I'm with my girls, first of all, my first thought is married folks can't be best friend with single folks. It's unequally yoked. Yeah, what I care about, what I'm concerned with, is totally different with what you care about, what you're concerned with. So that would be my first thing: is, are you going with persons that are like you? Meaning that they're dedicated to their marriages or whatever, they're focused, this, that, and the other. Then you should be good to go. You should guys to be accountable one to another. But if you're trying to go out with your single friends and you're the only married one, you're going to struggle in that environment, because they're not going to be interested in doing anything that married women do. So why would you go and put yourself in that place of temptation, especially if there are some struggles at home already, because it's only going to magnify those struggles. For a lot of this stuff, again, we said in the beginning, and our time is really up, that effective communication is the cure to all of this, but also creating healthy habits for yourself. We talked about 10 unhealthy habits, but create healthy habits for yourself. Embrace your date night, enjoy your date night. Listen, don't go through and start, The thing talked about being boring. Well, don't be the spouse that leaves your spouse at home and never invites them to participate and the new things that you are experiencing. It's totally one thing if they say no, thank you, but for you never to invite them is totally something different. Create healthy habits together. Create opportunities together to grow and to experience some things. I like the gun range. I like to get her to come with me. Now I laugh at her when she's shooting the gun because she shot the floor. It was pretty funny, but at least she went. She went. That's why, in terms, I'll sit and watch the Western, where the fight is so fixed and fake that the man fall down before he swing. But that's what she enjoys. If it's a little house on the prairie, God forbid, get the popcorn, let's go. We little house on the prairie for a little while. She gonna fall asleep anyway.
We getting ready to get that fixed.
So
Let's get ready to get fixed.
But again, learn to develop places of healthy habits. Create your own healthy habits. Go do adventurous things together. Go to Top Golf together. Can't even one of y'all play? So laugh at each other. Go to the batting cage. Laugh at each other. Go parasailing if you're brave enough. Laugh at each other. Do just have those adventures together, man. Create your own healthy habits. But the 10 that we unhealthy habits that we talked about tonight, be brave enough to address them. Be brave enough to find resolution, then be brave enough to overcome them and turn your weaknesses to your strengths. All of us have weaknesses. All of us have areas in our marriage where we can improve, but improvement does not come without the work. Be intentional, be purposeful, and let's live this thing happily ever after. Because when we said I do, it was for forever.
Ever.
So let's learn to do this thing better together, man. Um, yo, that's it. That's it. If you guys got any questions for us, you can feel free to connect with us on our Facebook page. You can connect with us.
Tell them we're trying to do something like you just mentioned, like Top Golf. So we're trying to do
Yeah,
something.
yeah. So if you've ever hung out with us before, happily ever after turned to a virtual meeting, we're now that the world is slowly opening back up. Hey, look for an opportunity for some safe social gathering functions. We're actually looking at top golfing as couples. Um, some people have asked us, yes, we're not done with the night of romance. It will be back February of 2022, and we're already making plans to do it bigger and better. Um, and just stay tuned. Listen, here's the best way to do this. Simply get connected. If you're not connected with our relationship ministry, man, if you appreciated anything that we shared on tonight, Pastor K and I would love to connect with you guys and let's do life better together. Let's do marriage better together. And you can simply do it by, again, scrolling at the bottom of the screen, taking a moment to text the word happy. Text the word happy to 804-925-1466. When you do, going to get a connect card. Please, 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 please complete the connect card, man. Don't just leave it with your cell phone number. We'll have no idea who you are. We can't connect. We can't share with you, uh, you know, as we would like with just your cell phone number. It only takes a moment to provide your name and an email address. We promise we won't inundate you with unnecessaries, but we'll take the time, we'll take the moment to share, our ministry with you, to share the good things that are happening at Happily Ever After, and some of our Ever Connect groups. Hey, ladies, if you're looking for a great fellowship, some friendship, check Pastor K out and the Women of All Colors. They do some great stuff, man. Book readings, the luncheons, and it just fun stuff. Our small groups are about fellowship first. Men, if you're looking for a safe place. And Joe, put up, because I can't remember, if you know it, what's the keyword for women of all colors? If you want to connect with the Women of All Colors group at 3C, if Pastor Joe knows the keyword, because I can't get it right off. It's the same phone number, 804-925-1466. You know your keyword?
I don't.
I don't either. I don't know the keyword for the women. We got to do better.
We do.
Women of all color. Um, Text women. Now, ain't that something?
Thank you, Pastor Joe.
Thank you, Pastor Joe. So the key word for connecting with the women of all color is women. Men, if you're looking for a group that you want to connect with, as a matter of fact, I'm excited because this Sunday we go on to Top Golf to hang out with some men from 3C. Should be fun. Know it's going to be funny. And so you can text the word Iron Man, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that's right. Text the word Iron Man to that same phone number. Again, that's 804-925-1466. And all, if you connect in any of our groups, please, 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 please complete the connect card. Again, 3 simple pieces of information: your name, cell phone number, and an email address. And then one of our team members will reach out to you, get you connected. You'll get all the insight. You'll get some engaging conversations, some prayers during the week. Pastor Gore. That's funny. Rodney Gore, who leads our men's ministry, is geared to start Man Up Monday. And we're going to start talking to our men every Monday and sharing some encouragement and some tips with them. The Art Financial, Joe, you might as well put that up there too. If you want to get your money straight and master your measure, man, the Art Financial, you can connect with Art. And Pastor Joel is going to drop that up there. And he has all types of money tips, man. Insurance, investment, strategies, simple things, man. Text ART. There you go, to the same phone number, 804-925-1466. So, we're ministering to every need. We got a wonderful team group, but we would love to do life better together with you guys. So again, I thank you for your time. Pastor K, you got anything else you want to say?
Thank you.
Hey, let's pray. Father God, we thank you for your goodness, your mercy, your love, and your kindness. We thank you for every wondrous act that you've shown it to us. Now, God, we pray earnestly for these that are connected, for every home, for every marriage that is represented on here tonight. God, we ask that you bless them, that you increase them, that you enlarge their territory, that you strengthen their union. God, that you come against the enemy that's fighting against them, bind the hand of the enemy, the mouth of the naysayer that's speaking against their marriage, that's speaking against their home, that's speaking against their family, that comes with a plot to plan to kill, steal, and destroy. And God, we thank you now for blessing them, for increasing them, for strengthening their union, their family bond, God, and causing them to prosper everywhere that they may go. God, we love you. We believe and receive all things through and by the matchless name of your Son, Jesus Christ. And in the spirit of agreement, we all say together, amen. Listen, last time, this Sunday morning, doors open at 10:15. It's Pentecost. It's the whiteout. Wear your white. Come on in the house. Grab your mask, man. We're still following all the CDC protocols, but we're gonna have some church this Sunday, man. It is Pentecost, and we're believing that just like at that day, that great day, when the Spirit of the Lord fell upon the face of the earth, we're believing that the same invasion of Holy Spirit would invade 3C. 2213 National Street, Henrico, Virginia, 23231. Casually dressed, but we got a perfecting praise, man. We love you guys. God bless you. Y'all shout out Pastor K one more time. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
And we'll see you guys Sunday, or we'll see you next time, or we'll see you at tomorrow morning at 10. Love you guys with the love of the Lord. Peace.